Chaps, I've already forgotten. It's got John, Josh, and Faz.
That's the one.
Oh, I'm getting well good at this game. I really am. But you guys tagged us, whatever, chatted to us a couple of days ago about you're doing a office football fundraiser.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And the thing what I like I was saying off air makes it sound all important, doesn't it? But what I was saying off air is we see businesses and tags and whatever else, and it's normally the same old stuff. It's the brands wanting to look good rather than do good.
Yeah. So they're just doing it to make themselves look good rather than actually doing
exactly. And it really does. And I'm just how my head works. I'm just like, if you spent all of that time and all of that energy and all of that focus to actually do good, your staff welfare will be better, your sickness will be next to nothing, blah 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 blah. But what tickled my fancy is you got on your Just Giving, Faz, if you wrote this, good copyright there, mate. Would like to raise money for MANUP as we're passionate about shining a light on mental health within an office environment. So it's not just looking good, you actually want to make a change within your work environment. So I thought, let's pull you in a video, say thank you for helping us out financially, because we can't operate without money. We just can't. Anyone who thinks running a charity is free is an idiot. Seriously, it's bloody, it's time consuming and a very expensive at times. So just want to pull you in the video. Just go, what, Faz, you're the brainchild behind it, is that right?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, it's a bit of everyone, but it is, yeah.
Yeah. So why mental health, and why more important, why men's mental health?
We're at work, because we've got in the office is, it's very much, I'd say it was 60-40 female, and we're very much 50-50 now, but we do like breast cancer days and stuff like that, and I won't sounding like an idiot, we've never done anything for men.
Yeah, literally.
It's like, it's always been about what's the bigger brand, like, breast cancer, it's a popular thing.
Cancer research.
Yeah, like everyone wore pink t-shirts, we put charity pots down. And so when we come up with this, when Josh come up with this football match, it's against a material manufacturer of what we do, the products we install. We said it's all male, and I said, let's make it into a charity match. If we can raise some money, and let's do it because it's all male. Who's playing the match? Let's do it for a male charity.
Yeah.
And obviously, when Faz is doing the Just Giving, he's saying "Man Up," and it was your slogan, like "Man Up," because
that really stood out to us, because it's like
everyone goes, "Oh, just man up."
It's like
it, you know what I mean?
It's a common thing that's just thrown around, like, "Oh, man up." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
do you know what the true meaning of man up is in the dictionary?
No.
This is in the dictionary. None of this dragging knuckles, get on with it, brother, and whatever else. This is in the Oxford Dictionary. I'll say this so many times now, I feel like I'm just repeating it. But in the Oxford Dictionary, which is obviously, that's the Bible of like the English language, in it. Let's face it, they use it with all the uni people. It's to be brave. Man up means to be brave enough to deal with an unpleasant or an awkward situation.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why all of our stuff is like with question marks. Even the website is like dot how. We're not telling people to man up. Yeah. We're telling people to basically be brave enough to deal with an unpleasant or an awkward situation. And let's face it, mental health is an awkward and a horrid situation. Yeah. So always say no. Go on, sorry.
We don't actually. We've never done anything for
men's mental health.
It'll always be like when we've done stuff previously, it'd be like for a local, like British Heart Foundation, something like that.
Or cancer research.
Cancer research. And then I think this is our third or fourth donation we've done to a charity. And then that's why we thought, let's make it different and be about something what a cause to us is, like, I know it sounds awful, but the greatest respect, breast cancer doesn't affect me at the moment in time. Whereas men's mental health, I know a couple of my friends who have got men's mental health, so
there's a lot of men on site as well. There's a statistic or something. I think it's like 34 in 100,000 people in construction on site that take their lives.
Every year.
So again, it's something that's very close to us personally as well, because we are in that office environment. But we also do have that installer environment too. They have to be out there in site on their own, and they have to deal with it. So it stood out to us, I think, in the best way I say it. It stood out to us massively, and that's why we pushed for MANUP.
Well, no, again, good on you all, really, because it's just showing I guess it's just showing your workforce and even their families and whatever else that you ain't going to judge them if they want to talk to you about a lot of life pickle, isn't it? Really,
I know it's bad. I know it's bad. There's sort of like a weird stigma around men, right? Saying like, oh, you just get on with your problems. You know what I mean? It's bad to talk, but it's bad to say, but there is like a stigma around it. Like people are afraid to talk about their mental health issues with other people because just for the sheer fact they don't have the courage to do it. Do you know what I mean?
And as the cliche goes, you're supposed to man up and get on with it, which
Yeah,
is a great play on words because it's important to speak about what your problems are.
Have you had many issues in your workforce?
I mean, obviously there's a HR part where we're not supposed to disclose certain stuff, but there's a few. I mean, 'cause I'm one of the owners here. So there is a few cases going on. Yeah.
I'll hold my hands up and say personally, I've probably suffered with my mental health in the past couple of years. Ain't been the greatest, but like it's close to me as well, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, so is that why you chose us?
Essentially, yeah, because like we mentioned before, there's not really. I feel like there's not really a light shed on men's mental health, if you know what I mean, which is why we showed you why we're looking to raise awareness, why we're looking to make change with it, not just our industry, but like in all industries.
We don't want it to be just about it's a charity football match and then we want to be done with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We want it to be a presence within the business.
We want to make change, you know what I mean? Like we want to be the innovators for like actively speaking out on men's mental health.
One thing's sure, we're definitely not doing it just to have man up thing. That's why our football team looks better.
No, and that's the thing. Like my radar's pretty tip top on all that kind of stuff. When I saw you tag whenever it was and done a bit of research, I'm like, there's a little bit of meaning behind this. Actually, that I can just tell. Do you get what I mean? And I admire you because it's
only we want it to be the presence. So if the males within the business, I mean, obviously females as well, they've got their own, but we could support males within the business, or we could even have one or two people with a presence, knowing that there is something there and that we're actively doing something and showing that, this is who we've chosen as our charity. Then I feel like even a 5% presence of that, if you can help one person, it's better than helping no people at all. So it's not just about the football match, it's about
raising awareness.
About the presence of it being within our business.
Essentially, it's a knock-on effect because like there's a lot of statistics where each person, even people who don't have many friends, will know directly or indirectly at least 350 people.
Yeah.
And most people want to say that they're like, no, I don't know 350 people. But if you look at your Facebook account, you may not be in touch with them. Some of you may not know, haven't spoken to for years.
350 people.
Bit of 350 people. So the knock-on effects of just it could just keep. No, go on. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say it all comes down to raising awareness, doesn't it? I mean, like we are like John mentioned before, like we've got HR, and we've also got our head of health and safety. He is also he's trained in mental health and whatnot. But the thing is,
he's such an approachable bloke as well. He is good.
The thing is, sometimes people aren't so comfortable talking to people they know about their problem. If you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. It's a weird one because I could have stuff going on in my head, but I don't feel. Me and Teague, we're very close, but I could have stuff going on, but I don't feel comfortable telling him.
Teague, did you again?
I don't.
It's called Josh Teague, by the way. When he says Teagues, it's his nickname.
Well, okay.
We could Zoom yesterday, and he nicknamed him again yesterday with Teagues.
But yeah, it's
Okay,
like, I wouldn't really feel comfortable speaking to him about my if I had anything going on up here. Whereas like yourselves, it's confidential. Do you know what I mean? It's raising awareness that the support is there. So that's what we're all about, to be honest. Just raising the awareness so people know that you're not on your own. You're not just fighting an uphill battle on your own. There is support out there, even if it's confidential as well. So it's not going to go anywhere. So
yeah, no, absolutely. So it sounds like you're going to get a good awareness, but also the double whammy is educating your whole workforce just to speak to each other as well.
Yeah, 100%.
We copied some off your website, nothing copyright, just like some text. And we've actually sent that out as an internal email to all the staff as well.
Right. Okay.
I mean, my LinkedIn post is I've had a lot of people message me on my phone and stuff saying, "What a great charity! What you're doing it for? Like, it's been insane. In fact, you know, obviously we raised the target and finished with 500.
We smashed that.
And,
Absolutely smashed that.
yeah, well,
over the weekend. I'm not even lying. Over the weekend, yeah. So on Friday night, we went home and it was like 260 quid, I think it was. So we were like halfway there. Come in Monday morning, we're on 2 grand. It was absolutely mental.
No, good on you. As I say, it really does help. It really does help us out as a charity. It really does.
That just shows you us getting that amount of donations in such little time just shows you how much of a good cause it is, because people are realizing, wow, that is actually the cause that they are doing it for. It's a very good cause, because it's not only it's helping people with mental health, but it's also shining a light on it. Because like I said, it's not spoken about enough, men's mental health. I'll be honest.
Yeah, one of the chaps who did a donation, he doesn't work within our business. He works within our sector, but he messaged me privately. He was like, but he's open and public about his mental health, which that's his choice to be. But he sent me quite a bit of a big message, just saying, you know, thank you so much. You know, like it's harder for people to understand what men's mental health is and stuff like that, which I get. You know what I mean? So I think he donated £10, but even if he donated £1, £1 is better than no pound. You know what I mean? And it's up to him, and I think that's what I put on the post as well. See, the pennies make the pounds, obviously, which makes you guys able to still do what you do. You know, because you need that support there.
No, absolutely, and I think it's just showing people you ain't gonna judge them, we ain't gonna judge them, innit?
Exactly.
Really?
And you're not alone. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
we're all very nervous about this, by the way. See, we get a few stutters. We're nervous about this.
No, you're doing fine. And do you know what? This is why we don't script the videos and all this kind of stuff as well. And just having a generic conversation. And it still blows my mind how it works, because there'll be people watching this when I upload it, probably next week or early this week. Sorry, there'll be people watching it. They'll be thinking, "Oh, that Dan's a prick," but there'll be some for what Faz has said, and they're like, "Oh," and they change their. It's weird. They change their mentality because it's really it's just blokes talking to blokes about mental health.
Yeah.
And
like we said, that's the negative stigma around it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's people aren't comfy talking about their mental health to other blokes because
it's an outspoken thing.
It is very hard spoken.
Yeah, well, I think it's because blokes are fixers. Yeah. We like to fix stuff, and when we can't fix stuff, basically when we've got the crazies setting in and we're losing sleep, we're eating crap, we're drinking crap, sometimes sniffing stuff we shouldn't be sniffing, and all this kind of stuff. We feel like we're failing.
Yeah.
And
when I grew up, like the people that I wouldn't say I come from a bad background, but I'd done stuff in my life I probably shouldn't have done. And my friends, I could never approach them about any mental health. You would have been absolutely
you would have been told, man up. You know, like no play on words or anything, but that's how it is.
You could never approach any of them about anything you were thinking or feeling. But like the stuff we was doing at the time was not the right thing anyone should have been doing. But you could never approach them and said, "Well, I'm thinking, I'm feeling this."
Yeah.
They probably would have given me an idea, if I'm honest.
Well, to be honest, I founded a charity and all of that lovely buzzwords and all this kind of stuff. Right? I'm just a bloke what does videos on the internet. He's blown up into this big, massive charity. Anyway, I'll digress. Even now, I will. If you was like, "Oh, how do you like?" If you was like, "Oh, Dan, how you feeling? Like, what's your emotional state?" I'll be like, "Fuck off." but I will say, do you know what? I don't know. Faz said this to me earlier, and it's just drove me nuts. He's really pissed me off. Do you know what I mean? It's the same outcome, a different way of getting there. And I think this is what's happening with men with mental health in general, but more with men. I think we're trying to force blokes to talk one way, and that's we're getting in touch with your feminine side. You know what? If that works, then whatever, then get on with it and talk about emotions and feelings. And I'm not that kind of bloke. I'm just.
I agree.
John, I'll be judging. I presume you're not like that as well. I can't imagine you.
Obviously, I've run my own business. We've got I think we've got 172 staff now. You can imagine the stress I get.
Yeah.
But I keep it to myself majority of the times because obviously you've got to show a strong face.
You've got to lead by example.
You can't show the staff a weakness. So there's a lot of times. I mean, luckily for me, my partner's so different to me. She's like so calm and stuff like that. Like, I'll go out on benders and stuff like that, you know, and my missus doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't do drugs. So when I'm feeling shit and crap, I can talk to my missus and she's so supportive of me. You know, she's actually helped me build what we've actually got here so far, because if it wasn't for her, I'd be off the rails so many times.
Good on her, yeah.
So
Good on her for not being judgy and listening and whatever else. It sounds like she's listening, but also good on you for taking her advice. And I do find that's a problem with a lot of blokes, is they're like, oh, my missus is nagging me. I'm sure there were some naggers, we can all be naggers, but actually normally it's because they give a shit.
yeah, that's what
they're doing it for your own benefit, essentially.
Yeah, no, exactly that. And it's again, my wife can nag me sometimes and all kinds of, but most of the time they mean well. And to stop the nagging is just shut up and listen to her.
Yeah. No, she is a good
Not all the time, obviously, just to get that one out there, but most of the time, just listen to her.
crazy bitches in the past, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think, yeah. So just before George, got bloody hell, the time's flown through this one. So just before, what's other than raising money? I think you've already answered it. And yet again, thank you. And I don't want to undermine it. I really don't. But what's your outcome of it? What are you hoping to gain out of?
Well, I was hoping if we can get some sort of leaflets or something so we can put something within the office, you know, because I've said before, it's hard for someone to approach someone, but whereas say we got some leaflets or some offer you some sort of literature, and we can put it in this, they can just go and get it, and they don't have to ask anyone for it then. So they don't want to talk to anyone within the business.
It's confidential.
They've got you guys, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I can sort that out.
The presence of it within the business, that's what we want.
Yeah, no.
To be this football match, and then we don't give a shit about anyone's mental health here, because that's, if that were the case, we would have chosen the breast cancer one or something like that. You know, as hard as we're not guaranteed we can make a change, but if we could try and make an impact to make a change, then
just that push, isn't it? The push,
just having something when people, when they finish work on the way out, they can slide, grab a leaflet, you know, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's also about getting your workforce talking to each other as well, isn't it? Like you don't need like big group therapy sessions with a box of tissue in the middle. But it's just something like, Faz, you had a bad day, just go, Josh, I'm having a bad day today. That's
the sort of culture that we need to encourage, because at the end of the day, it's never good. It's never good for anyone. I've been guilty of it in the past. Like you keep everything bottled up. You
all have, yeah.
And then essentially it gets to a point where you just sort of blow. Do you know what I mean? So it is good to, if you're having a bad day, I can to encourage to approach.
We did a privacy poll, like it was like a questionnaire. We were all private, so whatever you put, it was confidential. We didn't know who did it, and it was just about like a lot in the business, how you find it with the business, and the common recurrence was people don't talk to each other enough. So that popped up.
Yeah,
and if I could show you around, I mean, there's desks all clustered together, so you've got everyone talking to everyone, but do you mate at work, but out at work do you not you mate, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah,
like, there's so many people up here, and there's a lot of young people as well.
We've got quite a youthful workforce.
But I think like younger people struggle more. That's my personal view on it. I feel like younger people struggle more because they've got a bravado, they've got to keep up, you know.
I'd agree with that. And one of the patterns I'm seeing, especially like the 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, they're the ones what were getting kicked out of school during COVID. So I just think they missed a massive section of that life.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean, of like going to the pub for the first time and all this kind of stuff? Because
like being like a fair employee, we've got a couple of people who work for us who've been in jail. So we always give people a chance, you know.
Good on you. Yeah.
I'd say 30% of people employed here probably have zero qualifications.
Yeah.
And what we actively give them qualifications, so we put them through courses just to better themselves.
Yeah.
There is a tie to it. If you leave within the first 12 months, then you've got to repay the course back. But that's setting their future up as well for them. So a lot of people here, myself, I left school when I was about 13-year-old. I had zero qualifications, just went working with my dad. And then I've done all right out of life so far, you know. So we want to pass that on if we can and help people better themselves.
Well, good on you. I'm from the care system and all sorts, so I knew what sofa surfing was from a very, very young age. And do you know what? I could have taken the role of like, oh, the government and the social and everyone hates me and all this kind of stuff. I chose to actually, when not many, but when the odd people gave me a bit of a footer to help me out,
Yeah.
I took it.
Yeah.
Snatch it both.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't mean this to sound like a look at me. It's certainly not. I've messed up a lot over the years, especially with the tax man. But don't get me wrong with that one. Get me started on that one. Oh, you've been there as well, but and all this normally because of account. But anyway, I digress. But it's one of those things you only need a couple of people in your life to give you a chance.
Yeah.
And that's it. So bloody well done to you for that as well. That's something I'm quite hot on about, just giving people a chance, even if they've been in the jail system and all this kind of stuff as well, because we all cock up.
Everyone, yeah, at the end, everyone makes mistakes. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Cool. But anyway, on that bombshell, 'cause I'm just conscious of the time, so I'm going to draw this one to a close. Have you done the fundraiser? I should know this, so I apologize. Have you done the match yet?
24.
Yeah, 24th.
24th
Wednesday,
January.
24th January.
Yeah, at Little
Okay.
training. England used to train.
Right. Well, if you can do any photos or anything like that and tag us in it, play.
So the other company that we're actually playing, EWI Pro, their marketing team is going to video it all. So they said they're going to send that across to me, so I could probably
Send you a copy of the video or something like that.
Yeah. Let me hit the record button on there, because people watching you will be like, "What? This is just now a conversation." 1 second.
Yes,